Hi guys, my name is Katerin Guardado and I'm going to be doing my midterm presentation on Twitter. So I will be diving into facts and information about this social media platform. Now, if you've never used Twitter, it's basically a social media platform where people can just tweet their thoughts, companies can tweet updates, and people can interact with each other. Where did it all start though? So Twitter started from these three men that you see on the screen, the one on the left being Noah Glass, the one in the middle is Jack Dorsey, and the one on the right, Evan Williams. Now, these three used to work together on a company called Odeo. Now, Odeo was an early 2000s podcasting company that ended up failing because Apple iTunes took a rise. So they took a hit from that, and these three men decided to start a new company that was called Twitter. Jack Dorsey was the one that introduced the status update to communicate aspect of Twitter, and Evan Williams was an early founder who later ended up becoming one of the CEOs of Twitter, and Noah Glass was a software developer that worked on Twitter to make it what it is today. Now, the two on the right are very known and famous for Twitter, but the one on the left, Noah Glass, isn't known too well because Evan and Jack ended up firing Noah from the team because they didn't want to work with him anymore. So Noah was fired and taken off Twitter. As you guys know, the logo for Twitter is going to be a little bird and it looks like it's a singing bird. Now, this bird does have a name. His name is Larry T. Bird, and it was inspired by Larry Bird, who was a basketball legend. As you see on the right hand side, that is Larry Bird. He used to play for the Boston Celtics, and this bird symbol is used in honor of his memory. It's a little blue bird, and since a lot of people have different thoughts about what kind of bird it is, I like to think about it as birds like to tweet, and it's called Twitter. As for features, there is a lot of features that Twitter has, especially with the latest updates that have happened. New features have come about, but the most well known features are these that I have listed, one being the tweets, two polls, three retweeting, four quote retweeting, and five threads. On the top over here, where the tweet says, "What's happening?" That is what a tweet looks like right before you post it. You can add images, you can add GIFs, you can add emojis, but you are the maker of whatever you want to put. People who just use Twitter on a casual day, as just social media from day to day, will post anything that is on their mind, like, "Oh, I just saw a bird." And then people will comment and be like, "Oh, what kind of bird?" And just things like that. As for companies, they can post updates about things that are going on in their company, product updates, and they can also tweet anything that they have going on. Polls, as you see on the right hand side, that is what a poll looks like on Twitter. There is a lot of parts that it has, main one being the questions and the options. And on Twitter, you can also use a lot of hashtags, and those are very much recommended to use if you want to have a lot of traction on there. So, aside from the options, you can also see that there is an analytics button at the bottom, and you can see the engagement that you're getting from your followers, how many people are viewing your things, and on the furthest right hand side, you see the results. So, every time that you put a poll and someone clicks on one of the options, they are going to know which is the least favorite and which is the most favorite, and it will also update with each option that people put with the poll. On the left-hand side, you guys can see what a quote retweet looks like. So now retweeting means that if someone likes what you post, they're going to press the little circle arrow looking button and it's going to retweet the post and it will put it on their feed and their followers will also be able to see that tweet that you posted. But a quote retweet is a little bit more than just an average retweet. With a quote retweet, they press that button, but instead of just retweeting your post, they will also add a public comment to it. So, in that retweet that we're looking at, it says, "Are hot dogs sandwiches?" And Bree says, "There's bread, there's meat. That's a sandwich. IMO." That is what a quote retweet looks like. Their original tweet is going to be on the top, and then the tweet that they're retweeting is going to be below that. But it's also going to show the usernames of the people that they are quote retweeting. Quote retweets are pretty cool because you'll get a lot of more engagement and people get to post their thoughts and ideas and not just do an average comment. So everyone on their following feed will see this quote retweet. As for a comment, you will see it and everyone that has commented on your post will see it. So that's the difference between a quote retweet and just regular commenting. Threads are very popular on Twitter and are used by a lot of people. A lot of people like to do like thread workouts. Like, here's my workout routine of January. And then with each other single tweet that is connected to that original one, it's just going to create a long thread of tweets that people can go and engage with and scroll through them. These are very nice when it comes to companies saying, here are our new products, and then they go and list all the products that they have and give little explanations on each post. So all of these features are very nice. Some of the newer ones that, if you use Twitter, have seen, there is something called Spaces where people can go and talk and interact with one another, or other people could listen to each other, which is kind of ironic because I would say it's kind of like a podcast in a way, which is where audio started and where it failed, and now Twitter is like bringing that back in. Next, we have finances. So, if you guys haven't heard and are not into Twitter news, Elon Musk bought out Twitter back in 2022, and he made the company go from a publicly traded company to a privately owned company. Now, what does this mean, right? So, this just means that Twitter is no longer available to be bought out as a stock and it's been delisted. Now, prior to Twitter becoming a privately owned company, the share dollar amounts were at 54.20 per share, and as of October 27, 2022, Twitter was worth around 40.39 billion. Now, Elon bought Twitter for 44 billion, so above the market price of it, and is now the owner of it. Over here, we have a little chart that just explains the history of the share price of Twitter. As you can see, it starts at 2014, it goes all the way to 2021. Like I said, it's a little hard to get information past 2022 because Elon has made it a privately owned company. Let's go into the pros and cons of Twitter. Now, I would say that the pros are going to outweigh the cons. So, pros. Hashtags have power and will get you recognized. As more hashtags that you use, the more that there's going to be traction on your page and that people are going to see your tweet, especially if you're using a very popular hashtag. This just means it's going to be a lot easier for you to gain engagement and interaction with people. You can reach a large audience. Millions of people use Twitter daily, and the more that you use it, the larger audiences that you're going to come by, especially if you're a company that's pretty small and you want to gain a larger audience. Twitter is an amazing place to do that and gain attraction. It's easy to use. It's as simple as just tweeting one thing or going to retweet something and leaving comments. You're going to get recognized. It can be a great platform to gain traction on. Like I said, a lot of people are on it. A lot of people will give you boosts. If you post something that is worth the engagement of others, they're going to be retweeting it, and then their followers are going to see it, and those followers of their followers are going to see it, and it just goes on and on and on. If used effectively, you can gain a big audience. As for the cons, now I would say that this first one is a hit or miss. That you can't edit your tweets. A lot of people will say that it's good that you can't edit your tweets because you can't take back what you said, especially if it's something bad. People can't edit out what was bad about their tweet. But let's say if it's just a grammar issue or they want to just spruce up the tweet, you still can't edit it. You have to fully delete that tweet and go retweet it. One bad tweet can spread fast. Like I said about that retweeting and quote retweeting, if you post something that's bad, a lot of people are going to engage with it, are going to retweet it, and everyone's going to see it. So you do not want to slip up on Twitter. Tweets are short. You can't make full paragraphs on there. You got to keep your tweets short and simple, and they got to be enticing with as few words as you can. This next one's a newer thing that Twitter has brought about. It's Twitter Blue. A lot of people are iffy about this because it's a paid membership on Twitter, and Twitter's free, but if you want more features, Twitter Blue has them, and I've never had Twitter Blue, but I do believe that you can edit tweets. People can also buy their verified accounts, and that's something that people don't like because it kind of skips the whole point of getting verified. Another thing is that there's a lot of bots and trolls on Twitter. Things can spread fast, and also Twitter's a very it's one of the least censored social media platforms that I've seen across, so it's not the safest place for kids. It's definitely more for grown people, I would say. Let's go into some tips. How do you create an effective profile on Twitter? So, first off, before you even create your Twitter account, make sure that you know what audience you're trying to reach. You have to have one specific and make sure that everything that you do from there on, after you make that profile, is tailored to your audience. You want to keep in mind the way that your page looks, not just on a website, but also mobile devices. A lot of people use Twitter from their iPhones, so you want to make it as easy to read and see on a mobile device. You want to include a CTA, a call to action. You want to fill out your bio. You want to keep it short and sweet. No one wants to read a big, long bio. They're not going to care. They're going to move on to the next page. And you want to start following people right after you make your profile, start gaining your traction, building your audience. What are the best practices and tips for organizations and companies that want to use Twitter? You want to tweet as often and also at corresponding times. You want to tweet when people are awake, not sleeping, so you don't want to tweet too late and you don't want to tweet too early. You also want to be tweeting at least 2 to 3 times a day. You want to use as many hashtags as you can to up that engagement. Like I've mentioned, hashtags are very powerful. You want to be able to interact with your followers. So when you tweet something, someone comments something, comment back, like their tweet, retweet their tweet. You want to have a pinned tweet that represents your message. If you're a company, make sure that your pinned tweet is what your company stands for. You want to take part in things that are trending. Go look at those hashtags that everyone's clicking on because if you use it or you follow in with the trend, you're going to get a lot more attraction. And you want to be fun and enticing. I put a little Wendy's tweet over here because Wendy's is very well known on Twitter for being fun and enticing to their audience. So, in this quote retweet that they make to Popeye's Chicken. Popeye's Chicken tweeted, "Sounds like someone just ate one of our biscuits, 'cause y'all looking thirsty." And Wendy's quote retweets them and says, "LOL, guess that makes the food as dry as the jokes." I would say Wendy's media team is amazing and hilarious, and they keep up that engagement with the customers. Not even people that go to Wendy's will look at this tweet and want to go to Wendy's because it made them laugh. You want to learn more? We can watch this little video. It's short and sweet, and it will tell you how to gain more traction on Twitter.
Twitter is the best platform to grow an audience. With the recent takeover of Elon Musk, it's seen a surge in popularity that is not stopping anytime soon. More and more people are using Twitter as their primary source of social media every single day. That's why in this video, I'm going to be showing you step by step exactly how to grow an audience on Twitter and have thousands of people engaging with your content. If you listen carefully and follow these steps, you too can become one of the biggest creators in your niche. First off, you've got to optimize your profile, and that starts with your profile picture. It has to be clean, clear, aesthetically pleasing, and showcase that you are a person worth following on Twitter. You can use Canva, PFP Maker, you could send it off to someone at Fiverr or Upwork, or get a professional photo done. Next up is your banner image. Make it eye-catching, tell us exactly what it is you do, direct us where to go next to find out more about you. Again, you can get templates on places like Canva, or get somebody to do it for you. The next thing you need to do is focus on your bio. Now, a simple structure to use when you're first starting out is I help X do Y with Z. So for example, Hype Fury. We are a simple automation tool to grow your audience on Twitter. Clean, clear, and understandable. Now you've optimized your profile, what is it you actually tweet? Now we would recommend 3 to 5 tweets a day, 1 thread a week, but you have to be consistent if you want to grow on the platform. Now a thread is just a series of tweets, and it's a powerful way to showcase your authority in a particular niche. You could tell them a story, you could show them a transformation, you could do a step-by-step guide, exactly like I'm doing here, but in written form. Now it's no secret that threads are the growth hack, and in Hype Fury, not only can you schedule them and see exactly what they look like on the timeline, we have a bank of thousands of ideas of viral tweets so that you know that your thread is going to blow up. The better the thread, the more valuable the content, the more likely that it's going to be shared. And if it's shared, more people will see it and more people will follow you. Now this is going to sound counterintuitive, but when you first start out, your tweets aren't really that important. People can't see them because you've only got a small audience. So this is where comments come into play. When you comment on Twitter with somebody with a lot of followers, there's likelihood that not only will their audience see it, but the person who wrote it will engage with your tweet. They could like it or even retweet it into their audience. And if they've got thousands of followers, that's thousands more people that are going to be able to see what you write. And the last step is the most important. Being on social media means being sociable. Network, dive in DMs, jump on calls with people, because the more friends you've got on this journey, the more support you've got to grow your account. And that's it, the exact step-by-step formula for you to grow an audience on Twitter and establish a name for yourself in your niche. Head to the description and click the top link, or go to hypefury.com to start scheduling and planning your content. There is no better time to start your Twitter growth journey than right now. So don't delay, hit the link in the description, hypefury.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
And that is it for my Twitter presentation. These are my works cited. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day. And that is it for my Twitter presentation. These are my works cited. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day.